If you're new to Formula 1, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Williams have always been at the back of the grid. But at one point, they were the dominant force in Formula 1. More recently, they've struggled, sure, at the back, despite a few standout performances, including the recent 7th place finish for Alexander Albon at Canada. In 2022, Williams finished bottom of the Constructors' Championship with 8 points. 27 points behind the next best team, which was AlphaTauri. In 2021, they actually did a little bit better, with 23 points in total, finishing in 7th place in the Constructors' Championship. Then, in 2020, they finished dead last with 0 points. 2019, they also finished last with 1 point. And I think you get the point. Williams have been struggling for a number of years now, with the odd standout performance here and there. Williams have 9 Constructors' Championships to their name, the first being in 1980 and the last being in 1997 with a certain Jacques Villeneuve. In 96, they won the title with Damon Hill, and you may also remember a lovely mustached man called Nigel Mansell winning the title with Williams in 1992. Perhaps it's a little bit dramatic to say, but you can kind of link the start of the downfall of Williams to the departure of Adrian Newey. So you might be thinking of Adrian Newey as the man, the mastermind behind all of the more recent Red Bull cars, and you would be right. But his first World Constructors' Championship was with Williams. If you haven't had a chance to read Adrian Newey's book, How to Build a Car, I highly recommend you do. There is a world where Adrian Newey would have stayed at Williams if he was given what he desired, but in the end, he moved on to McLaren at the end of the 99 season, and of course, he then ended up at Red Bull. Alongside that, Renault, who had been powering Williams for a number of years before that, decided to end their full-time involvement in F1, and Williams ended up with a Mechachrome engine. Then Supertech, followed by BMW, who powered them for a number of years. They then moved on to Cosworth, then Toyota, then back to Cosworth, a small dabble with Renault again, then Mercedes. As you can tell with their engines, over the next 10, 15, 20 years, there hasn't been a whole lot of stability at the Williams team. One of their biggest issues, though, is funding. As the years have gone on, and I'm even going back as far as the 90s, F1 has become more and more about money, and back then there was no cost cap. Williams was a family-owned team established by Frank Williams and Patrick Head in 1977. Frank's daughter Claire became deputy team principal in 2013, and eventually in 2020 the team was sadly sold to Dorilton Capital and Claire left the team. Her father had passed away a few years earlier. It was the first time since the team's creation where a Williams family member was not at the helm of the team. A very, very sad day for Formula 1. What the team needed was an injection of money. Maybe Dorilton Capital could provide that. In January of this year, 2023, James Vowles announced he was leaving Mercedes to become the Williams team principal, replacing Jos Capito, who stepped down in the previous December. Vowles was a highly respected team member of the Mercedes team, and he was once touted to replace Toto Wolff, but he's not had it easy at Williams so far. In fact, Vowles has gone on record as saying that the Williams facilities are at least 20 years out of date. He said the compositing department is further behind in technology than when he first joined Formula 1 20 years ago with another team. That's pretty incredible, but it really lines up with the team's downfall and their lack of finances over the years. Sadly, this isn't a quick fix. Designing manufacture processes, designing new facilities, this takes time and they take time to build. Just look at where Aston Martin are now with their facilities, and this has been a plan that's been in place for a number of years, and they weren't as far behind as Williams currently are. Honestly, if you think about what the team has faced when it comes to financial hardship and lack of up-to-date facilities, it's fairly impressive that the car is even competing for points at all. At the recent Canadian Grand Prix, Alex Albon finished 7th on merit. Just imagine what the team could do if they had a little bit more funding and a more up-to-date manufacturing process. Williams are seen as a filter team in Formula 1. It's a team that drivers go to, or they're arranged to go to, by say Mercedes, because they want one of their drivers to get a little bit of experience, and then that driver eventually moves on to a bigger and better team. But when I was growing up, that didn't used to be the case. Drivers wanted to go to Williams. They wanted to go and drive an Adrian Newey Williams. That used to be one of the places drivers would want to go. But that's no longer the case. And it's going to take a long time to get back to that place, if they ever do. Williams also used to be a place where drivers would go when they were at the end of their careers. Drivers who had perhaps passed their prime, moving back towards Williams for the last few years of their career. Someone like a Felipe Massa. I don't know about you, but I would love to see Williams fighting at the front of the grid again. But based on everything we know, it's not likely. And it's not likely to happen anytime soon. But we can hope.